Kings and Queens, your majesties, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for returning. Trust you and yourself well, and you love yourself and all this like always. Many thanks to all of you for the support to give to the channel. Thank you so much to our channel members, to our anonymous supporters, to all of you, my esteemed subscribers. We love, celebrated, and of course appreciated. Ah, I'm happy to be alive at this time. Okay, because the hands of time is changing, and it is changing in favor of the African people because change is that thing that is constant. And that is where, when you are in a particular position, you should think of when you would not be in that position anymore because you're not going to remain in that position forever. Think about tomorrow. But it's quite unfortunate that the relationship that Africa had with the West was that such that they never thought that this day would come where Africa would be liberated or the liberation of Africa would start. In short, it has not even gone quarter, and the collective West are shaking already. Like they are vibrating at this point. They are looking for every means possible to retain themselves, to remain. But their power is weakening by day, and we can see that from recent happenings. We can see that from how Africa is beginning to liberate herself. It's not up to her quarter. Just imagine that half of the continent are cut up from the whole of Europe and America. They will flock Africa because they will need to come here to survive. The way Africans were going to Europe and America to survive, they will begin to return to Africa to survive. By then, I wonder, all Africans who have run away from their homes and nations because Africa is poor, where will you be by then? Because they're going to leave you there and they run here. In short, they've started running down already. So recently, there was some information that the EU visited Ibrahim Traore in Ouagadougou, Burkina Faso, and some African youth are saying that it wasn't the EU that visited; it was donors specifically. Donald himself had sent some envoy to Burkina Faso for bilateral cooperation. And we will read it from the news here. Okay. So I do not know whether the EU had sent their delegates separately, then Donald sent his delegates separately. Now, when you listen to the news, it states that US Deputy Assistant Secretary of State for West Africa Will Stevens arrived in Ouagadougou on Thursday as part of an initiative launched by President Donald Trump to revive diplomatic ties between Washington and Burkina Faso. So Donald Trump has a plan. He had a program like that to revive relationship. Reviving relationship. After they had used General Langley to destroy the reputation of Ibrahim Traoré didn't work. Now they are coming in the form of bilateral cooperation. Why didn't they come as this before sending General Langley? A lot is going down. A lot of effort is put in behind the scenes to destroy the Sahel liberation, the Sahel freedom. Okay? A lot is put in place. And if these people were not enjoying anything, why do you think that they will waste their time to put in so much effort into, spending the money, spending the time, consideration? Like they sat down, have a meeting about Burkina Faso, the poorest nation in the continent. Your Majesties, if there's nothing in for them, if they have not been stealing all this while they were there, why do you think they will care, Your Majesties? All right, we are reading further. Okay. During his visit, Stevens conveyed a message from President Trump expressing the American leader's intent to rebuild a strong partnership between the two nations, according to a statement from the Burkinabe Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And the word strong was emphasized. Rebuild a strong partnership. So they're not just coming back just to regain their stance, that which they lost for some time. They are coming back to rebuild a strong partnership. Hey, Donald Trump. After saying Africa is a shithole, you are coming behind to rebuild a strong partnership with Burkina Faso. I don't know what to call you anyway. But Donald is doing all this for his nation. He said all he said, kicked out black people, kicked out Africans back to their countries, different countries in the continent, because they have his people at heart. Do our leaders, our so-called African leaders, do they have us at heart? If they have us at heart, they won't be doing what they do. So Donald is watching out for his own race of people. There's nothing wrong with that. He's doing what he can do to save his people. So reading further, following his meeting with Foreign Minister Karamako Jean-Marie Traore, the U.S. envoy emphasized America's commitment to constructing a pragmatic relationship based on mutual respect and national sovereignty. Mutual respect. So now they want to come and respect us accordingly. Now they want to reciprocate. Before, there was nothing like reciprocation of the love and respect we gave to the collective West. There was no reciprocation of the love and respect we gave to the collective West. The love and respect we gave to America, there was no reciprocation of it. And all of a sudden, Donald Trump want to reciprocate. Donald Trump want to reciprocate. No, the American government got to be kidding me, because I don't see why. I don't know if they think that Africans don't think, or African does not remember the past. I don't know. Maybe they feel like we don't know how to read. We don't know how to understand situation. Just like he insulted the president of Liberia and was asking him where he learned how to speak English. Oh my goodness, like he forgot that we were colonized by people like him. Or maybe he feels like our brain is so dumb that we will not recall or will not. Anyway. So he underscored the need for close collaboration to tackle shared challenges and strengthen bilateral ties. He underscored the need of close collaboration. So he wants a close collaboration with Burkina Faso, with our able Ibrahim Traore. You want to corrupt Traore for us? We will not agree. Your Majesty, I just want us to, break this down and understand the plans and tactics of these people. Remember, France made the move. France had approached Niger. America is approaching Burkina Faso. Okay, let's go. All right. And again, remember they had to use force on these nations. They have been using force. They are still using force, but they are coming in disguise right now, like they have not been the one orchestrating all the destruction happening in the Sahel. All right. The two officials discussed prospects for collaborations in key areas, notably security and trade. Minister Traore welcomed President Trump's initiative to send a high-level envoy to gain first-hand insight into the country's situation. Like, the envoy that was sent is a high-level envoy to Burkina Faso. A high-level envoy to a country like Burkina Faso. Okay. All right. Going further, it says, we expect a shift in perception, deeper understanding, and a partnership based on equality. That is Traore saying. A shift in perception. Do not look at us like we are not equal to you. I believe that's what is running the mind of this minister. Do not think that we are lower than you. Look at us as equals. If you do not have that mindset, we can't work with you. Okay? A deeper understanding, a partnership based on equality. Okay? Because these people look at Africans like some animals. You look at us like we animals. We don't have reasonings. Come on. When we taught you how to bathe, our ancestors are we taught you how to bathe, how to keep yourself. And today you come in loading it over us. Anyway, we don't blame you. It is because of our stupidity, wickedness to ourselves, selfishness and greed that have put us as Africa in this continent, that has put our cable land in this continent. If not, you would not sit there and be saying that Africa is a shithole. Okay? Traore stated this while criticizing policies of certain global powers, including the US, that hinder access to essential military equipment for countries combating terrorism. If most of you watch that, maybe I'm going to leave the clip towards the end where Traore was saying something. Captain Ibrahim Traore, he said that that there are certain things they do not want to release to you, even with your money. They don't want to release equipment to you, because they feel like you shouldn't use the same equipment like them. I'm going to leave that clip towards the end of this video so that you listen to the captain and understand exactly what we are saying here. If we do not respect ourselves, nobody would respect us. Just imagine if there was no revolution in the Sahel. Who would have their time? Would Trump send any high level, envoy to Burkina Faso? No, he would have just sent some petty workers to just go convey the message, command them, give us your minerals, give us this. If not, we're gonna, invade you. This is exactly what they've been doing before. But after the Sahel leaders took over, it's a no. They are now learning to respect Africans. That whoever made that statement got it right. Traore is the end of Europe and America. Our able Captain Ibrahim Traoré, the president of Burkina Faso, is the end of Europe and America. Our able Captain Traoré, okay, the president of Burkina Faso, is the end of Europe and America. Like, he's the end of them all. He had bent their knee. The knees of them have refused to touch the ground, but Traoré bent their knee. Their knees are touching the ground right now. Even the one that said Africa was a shithole, his knee is touching the ground. This is it. This is how it is when Africa regains her power. When the black nations regain her power. Just imagine that the whole of Africa is awakening like the Sahel. Will anybody come say rubbish to us? I'm going to see you in my next one. Just watch the script coming and leave your thoughts and opinion there. Your Majesties, remember, love yourself, love others. Stay safe, stay positive. Always, Your Majesties.
Mr. President, there was a long discussion about how long you are going to stay. When are you going to organize election? How long will the transition last? Do you have an answer to that today? Or do you think it's not the priority?
For you, how long will Captain Ibrahim Traoré be in charge before organizing elections to step down?
I was going to ask you a very important question in return before providing you with an answer.
I'm not here to answer questions.
That's all right. If today, in 6 months, we decided to abandon the people, you as a very objective man, aware of our situation, what would you say?
Now people say, if they're getting results, if they're making some progress, it's because they have the Russians with them. There was Wagner, which has been talked about. Now, we even have the Russians who are going to open their first military base with the Africa Corps. Mr. President, are the Russians helping you? And is their assistance better than that of the foreign armies that were present until now?
You know, as far as Burkina is concerned, for example, we have always had relations with Russia. And I can tell you 80% of the equipment that the Burkinabe had was...
Today, Mr. President, aren't you afraid for yourself?
Afraid?
We lived through the era of Thomas Sankara, who is somewhat your role model, since many people compare you to him because of your ideas, your way of behaving, your choices. We know how it ended.
Yes, you are right. And that's the question everyone is asking. And it's actually the phobia of the Burkina people. When they think about it, they're always afraid for me, for my safety. As for myself, I'm not afraid.
Which today is hosting a special guest, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, Transitional President and Head of State of Burkina Faso. Good morning, Mr. President.
Good morning, Elaine.
Thank you for having us.
Today, with Russia, the relationship is primarily strategic. That, I think you understand much better than we do. And with Russia, there isn't that equipment we want to buy from them that they won't sell. They others impose restrictions on us.
They tell you, you can't buy this.
Of course.
But the Russians sell you everything you want.
Everything we want. Up to this very moment, as I speak to you, they are blocking us from getting licenses for certain aircraft. There are types of weapons they will never sell us.
And how do they explain these restrictions to you?
That's what I have to ask. Where's the friendship? What do they want? There are many countries, the Russians, the Chinese, the Turks, the Koreans, and so on. There are no restrictions. With Iran, whatever we want, they'll provide it for us. If we can pay, we pay. But with those states that were supposedly our friends, there are restrictions. There are even some who have gone so far as to tell us that they can't sell us anything that's lethal.
Oh, really? So you're at war,
but maybe we have the duty to pick up stones. Maybe even the stone is lethal. Anything that's lethal, they won't sell to us. That's their principle.
So today, with Russia, what are they getting in return? We all know that there is no such thing as friendship between states. It's always about interests. Everyone comes for their own interest. So today, some people are afraid that we've just traded one master for another. But I know you well enough to know that you're not about replacing one master with another. What exactly are you giving the Russians so that they're here? Are they taking minerals? How are you paying them? Are you selling off a portion of the territory? What's the actual deal?
If the deal was truly and genuinely to just swap one master for another, we would absolutely rather die. Because when we emphatically say homeland or death, it truly and profoundly means something significant.